Hi, it's Zachary John Thayer here, bearing a federal ID number 4318190. I move against the COVID vaccine at the UN and ask that Mr. Cyril Rapanos uh, uh, be understood to Africa, Mr. Modi of India, King Salim of Saudi Arabia, and move against the United States based on understanding of a Nobel, or what will be understood in view of the state. By procedural application, these viruses, and particularly you'll notice, are specifics to the Enchidius. These are human contact-based viruses, what is known as the picocornoris virus. The picocornoris virus has indication of inorganic organic family groups based on model, with the Passius virus being understood to human ebonics, Mascus megagraphus. Now, one of the things that you're going to have to ask in view of the Chinese application, these viruses are in multi-strain applications of the plutonium enrichment. In one room, we consisted of a virus that indicated from turkeys, one that consisted of jellyfish, one that consisted of seaweed, one that consisted of mammals, in particularly monkeys and Croatians. The Croatian standards, you can show this into gram-negative. In fecal matter, this is automatized based on gram-negative research in plutonium-246 and 242. A symmetrical deviation to the plutonium based on what is known as SBV EBS research, tied to selenium, pentanickel, boron, neptunium, pentahexacene, triethyltensacene, and cerium, vanadium, triethyhes, boron, and ribitazone models. Ribitazone models justify fluorides or hydrocarbons and fluoropentan triethacene, selenium pentanickel boramine, nihonium triethacene, zirconium, mutabum, gallinium, osmiumonite, triethylpentahexatriethacenes, neptunium, osmiumonite, diepsine pentahexanickel chlorosides or chlorines are living osmoscaline samples based on metafluorides. Metafluorides are living tissue assessments. Tissue will indicate an application to sterile ductwork. Sterile ductwork shows inorganic organic material analysis based on contact tracing efficiencies tied to a theoretical approach, unimolecular, biomolecular, molecular optometry, theoretical weight expressionism, and gram-negative to gram-positive bacterial wonderments. In theoretical obtuse integration models, we have applications in polonium, osmium, agnus, and lanthanum pentatriethacene, tensa-nickel urite, cerium triethacene, tensa-boramine, and emporium cerium sulfate. Hassium osmiumonite becomes lanthanum triethacene, tensa-iridium, based on the application of the gram. The gram is predominantly negative. If we are subatomatizing this based on research, uranium-238, 233 justifies the 5 daughter decay. We mimic our applicational wonderment in plutonium-242 to diepsium or emporium-312 and diepsium-122 and standardize that in OA A negative to the view of AB positive. We're going to show a weighted expressionism in the view to subatomatized material. Subatomatized would be that of AB positive of the living fluoride. If I am mimicking this in hepatometry based on viral epidemiology, I'm justifying this to stale ductwork. Stale ductwork would be my joint tendon, and asking it in selenium pentamboramine, triethyltensacene, hessium oxourite, triethylgallinium, urapentahexanickel fluorescein, liopentahexosylchlorocene, triethylpentacene, and in view of the protectium bacteria to the protein synthesis process. This is indicated based on this research, based on vanadium, platinum, polonium, triethyltensacene, nickel urite, cerium triethacene, nitrofluorescein, and cerium sulfate. Cerium sulfate is selenium pentahexoxytriathylene diepsyl chloride, and the water sample. The water sample is inorganic to organic based on weighted gram. This would be the same way as saying I'm sweating blood, a little bit of view brown, and saying while holding it in there, it atomicizes to leather. This virus in particularly, if I make my understanding of it, let me get to it, does that in turkeys, that does that in horse cholera, noted Vincent Rancet Yellow, Amy Rosegren. That virus does that in chickens, and that virus does that in cows. Now, if that virus did that, and say you're wondering it in worms, you're justifying atomic size structure analysis in your wonderment to the metafluoride sample of a human tissue sample, also justified known as your tendon or what you know in your thyroid to be the thing that is taken out outside your thyroid in your body to population assessment, gallbladder. If that is a weighted deviation to polonium to antimatter and protecting bacteria, you're showing that to the polio shot to tendinitis based on lauryl fluoride. Lauryl fluoride shows then that to contract tracing, applicational wonderment in the view of the state, you're justifying it as a brachial hexacine or hexotriathylene, where the mucilagnosin is a viral contagious viral topography. Now, if we're mimicalizing this question to rudidium research shows that to mercury, that would be the strength level of it when you justify it into your small and large intestine based on the halofluoride or the chapping of it. We would show that in cesium diepsylpentane triathylene, tenzonickel-uracil, tenzosine hassium ribidazone, diepsylhexylpentane boron, lanthanum rudidium, and diepsylhexacine neptunium triethylosylmononite is lanthanum pentahexosylfluoride and rudidium fluorescein fluorourite samples based on carbon. This would be a living oscomoscaline sample or a magnofluoride sample, collective inorganic tissue based on atomatized structure. Now, if we are doing this same research and justifying it in bacteria, we do have what is known as the enterovirus. This is a virus that mutates. This mutates in what is known as the parvovirus. This is a concern at present based on plutonium. We had called this wondering it in Kincaid's. This virus is what is wondered to humans. This virus right here, or what you call the pronunciation of showing lupus, based on lauryl fluorides into the body, based on tendinitis research to SARS. If we were to specialize in those three viruses right here, you would show them that weighted application to O, AB negative, B negative, and AB positive based on standard deviation. This would show why we're the only country in the world that underwrites polio and tendinitis vaccines up to 27 every 7 to 10 years into our general defense budget. No other country does that. Now, if that's a concern to the view of the state, we do not understand that based on cost of living assessment. Now, where concern is wondered at present, this does show this into the human subhost at present based on dietarial applications, and where it's wondered the most inappropriate with the Chinese at the time was this virus particularly. Hey, Austin, Millie, I dumbass. I like to remind John Roberts, I dumbass. Merrick Garland guy, dude. Joseph Robbins reel. That's not the jellyfish, and the only species to be able to hold that if you're going to show it, and meta research to plutonium. Kim Jong-un, you're saluted with respect, honor, in view of the state, and maybe we be at war in view of Lord von Ribbentrop.